he is made if he is reelected. You may have heard of Project 2025, but this is from Agenda 47, and you can read all of these on his website. First, he promises that he will carry out the largest domestic deportation operation in history. He will also ask for the death sentence for anyone convicted of human trafficking. He will close the Department of Education and return all education standards to the states to decide. He will put prayer back into school, and he will criminalize any race-based advantage programs. He will end the Affordable Care Act. He will ban gender-affirming care for adults and children, and he will ban any federal dollars from going towards gender-affirming care, which means anyone with government-provided health care will no longer be able to access gender-affirming care except for Viagra and Cialis. Those will still be available. He will propose a constitutional amendment that gives a term limit to Congress. He will deploy the Department of Justice to investigate the Biden crime family and any of his adversaries or political rivals. He will immediately pardon all of the January 6thers, and he will create a task force to investigate anyone who arrested, charged, or imprisoned a January 6er. He will increase the penalties for underage criminal offenders, strengthen immunity for police officers, and deploy the National Guard to patrol woke cities. On day one, he will reassess our participation in NATO and says that every European country needs to pay the United States for protection. He will also restore the wonderful travel ban for Muslims coming to America. He will build freedom cities. This is 10 new cities built on federal land. He will award them to areas with the best development proposals, and he will prioritize moving young families to these freedom cities. He will kill all e-vehicles and e-vehicle legislation, seeking to replace that with the development of a flying car. He believes that we could create a car that vertically takes off. He will remove all of the limits on American natural gas exports and drill baby drill for oil domestically. He will impose a tariff of up to 60% on Chinese imports. He will extend the 2017 tax cuts and drop the corporate tax rate from 21% to 15%. He will push Congress to pass legislation that would give every American the right to concealed carry anywhere at any time. And he will revoke any gun restrictions or legislation that seeks to inhibit people's ability to own guns that's been passed in the last several years. He will demand that Europe pay back all the money we gave Ukraine, and then he will use all of that money to recruit for the American military. And he will take billions and billions of dollars from private university endowments by taxing, fining, and suing the universities. He specifically names Harvard in this one. And then he will use that money to create the American Academy. It is a free online college that will be free of wokeness that he will force employers to recognize as a bachelor's degree equivalent.
So you guys have probably heard about Project 2025, or what Democrats are calling MAGA's sinister plan for Trump's second term. And while this blueprint has Democrats losing their minds, let's get one thing straight. Trump hasn't endorsed the Heritage Foundation's 900-page magnum opus.
With much of the 2024 focus right now on President Biden and the future of his campaign, Donald Trump chose today to try to distance himself from Project 2025. That's the 900-plus page document from conservative advisors at the Heritage Foundation, which lays out some pretty aspirational goals to reshape the federal government and, frankly, American life if Trump were to win in November. Well, on TruthSocial today, Trump wrote, "I know nothing about Project 2025. I have no idea who's behind it. I disagree with some of the things they're saying, and some of the things they're saying are absolutely ridiculous and abysmal. Anything they do, I wish them luck, but I have nothing to do with them." Several Trump allies, though, do have ties to Project 2025, including two of its authors, Dr. Ben Carson and Ken Cuccinelli. Mark Meadows and Stephen Miller are with groups on Project 2025's advisory board. Senior advisor Peter Navarro, who is, of course, in prison, is also listed as an advisor. My panel is back. So, David, Donald Trump is distancing himself today from Project 2025, saying he's not involved here. These, though, are people who would be likely to have significant policy roles in the administration if Donald Trump is, in fact, reelected. How involved is he really?
Yeah, so the answer is zero. He's involved zero. And those people you put on the screen there, they're involved zero. This is being drafted. This Project 2025 is coming out of the Heritage Foundation. And they are clearly trying to assert, or they were trying to clearly assert some sort of role that they don't have, that I know from speaking to Chris LaCivita on the campaign. He retweeted out a piece on that. I know from speaking to him previously about this and the former president that they've disavowed this. Unless it comes from Donald Trump's mouth or the campaign don't believe it.
Very strange how Democrats all of a sudden and in unison started pushing this Project 2025 as Trump's campaign slogan when he has neither wrote or endorsed it. Calling it Trump's project is just more leftist lies. And this project is basically just a list of recommendations made by Heritage that includes handing out pocket constitutions to people. People do need those constitutions because most people couldn't tell you the First, Second, or Third Amendment. But I digress. Nobody in their right mind is panicked over it. I mean, I get it that Democrats are in a free fall, but this hysteria is just dumb. Anyway, what is Trump's plan for a second term? Well, you can look no further than at his own campaign's website. It's called Agenda 47. Let's hear about it straight from the left.
Wonder what Trump will actually do if he gets back into office? You don't have to speculate because he calls his plan Agenda 47. And spoiler alert, it's scary as shit. Here are some of the worst ideas we're in store for if he wins in November. 1. Attacking immigration. Trump's anti-immigration policies will be even worse the second time around. He's promised to end birthright citizenship, enlist an army to round up and deport millions of undocumented immigrants, and deploy thousands of U.S. troops to the southern border. 2. Criminalizing LGBTQIA plus Americans. Trump says he'll ban gender-affirming care for trans kids and prevent schools from helping kids through their transition. He wants to forbid schools from even teaching anything about sex and gender that diverges from the far right's idea of the nuclear family. 3. Overhauling education. Agenda 47 includes huge changes to the education system. He wants to give huge benefits for homeschooling to indoctrinate kids with Christian nationalism, incentivize teachers to carry guns in their classrooms, further crack down on affirmative action, and destroy crucial DEI departments at colleges and universities. 4. Restoring racist crime policies. Criminal legal system reform will be off the table if Trump becomes president. He promised to bring back racist policies like stop and frisk and other ineffective and discriminatory tough-on-crime tactics that have failed in the past. He also wants to increase protections for power-abusing police while rolling back hard-fought-for reforms and institute the death penalty for low-level crimes like drug dealing. 5. Weaponizing the government. The scariest part might be Trump's threat to more or less dismantle the federal government. If he gets back in office, he's going to purge anyone who could possibly stand up to him and replace them with MAGA loyalists like Stephen Miller. He's going to prosecute his political enemies using traditionally independent orgs like the DOJ as his own personal weapon and give himself unprecedented power over agencies like the FCC and FTC. These are just the things he wants you to know about. Trump has plenty of regular crazy stuff in Agenda 47 too, like how he wants to found new freedom cities across the country and somehow give Americans access to flying cars. The whole thing is weird as hell, like everything Trump does, but there's nothing funny about Agenda 47 or the possibility that he might be president again.
Don't you just love it when leftists accidentally make positive Trump campaign ads? Don't you just love it? Is this supposed to deter me from voting for President Trump? Because if it is, it's not working. Because all it does is make me want to volunteer for his campaign. I'm just kidding. I really don't have the time for all of that. But if you have the opportunity to do so, maybe you should. Is this supposed to be a bad thing, this Agenda 47 thing? I'm confused. It sounds like he's trying to bring the country back to some sense of normalcy. The crap that's been going on in this country since 2021 has been nothing short of a nightmare. And this plan sounds great for getting the country back on track. But let's go point by point and see what the left is so afraid of. One of the core promises of Agenda 47 is to drain the swamp. The left screams that this is an authoritarian move to replace civil servants with Trump loyalists. But let's face it, the swamp is real. Corruption and inefficiency have plagued our government for years. Trump's plan includes implementing a merit-based system for hiring and promoting federal employees. This means more accountability and less bureaucracy. Who wouldn't want a government that works for the people, not for itself? I know I would. Democrats are also up in arms about Trump's plan to finish the border wall and implement stricter immigration policies. They call it xenophobic and cruel, but let's keep it real. Securing the border is about national security and protecting American jobs. Illegal immigration puts a strain on our economy, our healthcare system, and our schools. Trump's agenda prioritizes legal immigration, ensuring that those who come to our country do so through the proper channels. It may sound crazy, but we know it's not. The agenda also takes a strong stance against cartels and human traffickers. The left might want to downplay this, but it's a serious issue and one that's hurting not only American families, but migrants as well. Trump's plan includes giving the death penalty to human traffickers. All I'm going to say about that is that human trafficking is modern day slavery and it needs to be stopped immediately. And let's not forget his stance on welfare and illegal immigration. Trump's Agenda 47 includes a policy to deny welfare benefits to illegal immigrants. Insane. Prioritizing American citizens and legal residents? Sign me up. Our welfare system shouldn't support those who bypass our laws over those who follow our rules and contribute to society. The left is also freaking out over Trump's plan to expand domestic energy production, claiming it will destroy the environment. However, energy independence is crucial for national security and economic stability. Trump's plan includes clean coal, fracking, and expanding oil and natural gas production, which will create jobs and reduce reliance on foreign energy. Plus, advancements in technology are making these methods cleaner and more efficient than ever before. Furthermore, Trump's Agenda 47 includes significant education reforms like promoting school choice and ending critical race theories in schools, promoting choice and well-rounded education for children. What a wild concept. Very authoritarian. The left argues that this will dismantle public education. It may, but it probably should. I don't know. But what it actually does is empower parents to choose the best educational path for their children and ensures that our schools focus on teaching core subjects rather than divisive political ideologies. Democrats are calling Trump's focus on law and order a move towards a police state. But the reality is rising crime rates across the country have left many Americans feeling unsafe. Trump's plan involves supporting our police, increasing funding for law enforcement, and implementing stricter penalties for violent crimes. And this argument is sort of pointless once you realize that this very moment, the mayor of New York has the National Guard patrolling the subways. But you can't carry guns in these crime-ridden cities to protect yourself because you might offend and scare people. You can't make this stuff up. Another hot topic is Trump's plan to repeal and replace Obamacare. The left claims this will leave millions without health care, but Trump's plan focuses on creating a more efficient patient-centered system with more choices and lower costs. It includes expanding health savings accounts, allowing insurance sales across state lines, and promoting price transparency. These reforms are designed to empower patients and reduce the bureaucratic red tape that drives up cost. So, this is what Democrats are calling extremist policies right there. These used to be normal goals for every American, but what happened? At the end of the day, folks, Trump's Agenda 47 isn't some radical, outlandish plan. It's common sense. It's about putting America first, restoring law and order, securing our borders, and ensuring that our government works for the people, not against them. These aren't controversial ideas. They're necessary steps to get our country back on track. Think about it. What's so bad about securing our borders to protect jobs and national security? What's wrong with ensuring our kids get a quality education focused on real learning instead of divisive politics? Why shouldn't we support our law enforcement to make our community safer? And who doesn't want an efficient healthcare system that provides better choices and lower costs? The left's hysteria over these plans just goes to show how out of touch they are with the needs and desires of everyday Americans. Trump's vision for a second term is clear: a stronger, safer, and more prosperous America. It's time we cut through the noise and see Agenda 47 for what it is: a roadmap to restoring sanity and common sense to our nation. But hey, let me know what you guys think about this crazy, evil plan? What part are you most excited about? Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more unfiltered commentary. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Consider joining the ARP family. It supports me, it supports the team. It gives us the ability to produce this type of content on a day-to-day basis. I appreciate each person that has joined the family thus far. I really do. Keep God first in your life. Stay prayed up. And I'm going to catch up with you all next time. Peace.